A weak Pokemon getting a Mega that gives it a new use is one of the coolest things about the gimmick, and I even made a whole video on cases like these. However, while plus 100 stats, a possible new ability, and a possible new typing can sound pretty good, a lot of them can end up being quite disappointing. So in this video, I want to take a look at the best Mega Evolutions in theory because they sound really good and have some things going for them, but ended up being quite disappointing in practice. Like the Mega Glow-Ups video, I'll be picking a mix of old and new Megas, focusing on their performance in previous doubles formats and in the current Reg MA doubles format. First up is Mega Beedrill. This is the Pokemon you think of when you hear Potentialmon, with it being the focus of a few popular memes. What Mega Beedrill has going for it is its very high 150 attack and 145 speed, one of the highest attack and speed combos in the whole game. This is due to it having the most efficient Mega base stat bump, with it getting plus 60 attack, plus 70 speed, and a minus 30 special attack, a stat that it doesn't use. Here's what Mega Garchomp's stats would look like, by the way, if it was given the same base stat bump as Mega Beedrill. It gets the ability Adaptability, which changes the user's stab modifier from 1.5 to 2, essentially giving it an additional 1.3 repeating times boost, the same boost that Sword of Ruin provides, although that modifier works slightly different. While this sounds good, there are a few big issues with Mega Beedrill that gives it the notorious Potentialmon title. First is that Adaptability only boosts stab moves, and Bug Poison is probably the worst stab typing, but at least it is a dual typing. It's better to have that than Mono Bug or something. You hit 4 types for super effective total, but are resisted by 9 types total, with Poison, Ghost, and Steel resisting both. Beedrill also doesn't learn very many powerful Bug and Poison moves, with Lunge and Poison Jab at 80 base power each being its highest power options, since it doesn't get Mega Horn or Gunk Shot. What really does it though is its terrible defenses of 65, 40, 80, comparable to the defenses of a Sneasel. It takes around 70% from a Mega Kangaskhan Fake Out and can get one shot from an unboosted, itemless King Gambit Sucker Punch. It has no way of dealing with Intimidate, can't hold the Focus Sash to stay alive longer, and gets walled by 3 different types. Please don't use Mega Beedrill. Next up is Mega Starmie. This was one of the Megas that we knew what ability it was getting before it was official in Champions due to how ZA gave Huge Power Mons 40% higher base attack, and people had high hopes for it as Huge Power is a top 5 ability in the game. At 100 attack, double the base attack of Azumarill, Starmie hits insanely hard in theory. Doubling the effective attack stat of a base 100 attack stat at level 50 with max investment and a positive nature is the equivalent to a 252 base attack stat. Unlike these other huge power mons that have low speed, like Azumarill and Mawile at 50 and Diggersby at 78, Mega Starmie hits an impressive 120, the same as Sneasler. Its bulk is no slouch either, with it having low HP at 60 but 105 in both defenses. So what's the issue? Well, it has a few things in common with Beedrill. It has no way of dealing with Intimidate since Megas can't hold an item, and none of its abilities in its base form grant an Intimidate immunity. While Water Psychic is a better offensive typing than Bug Poison, hitting 5 types for super effective with 6 types resisting, and Huge Power boosts all physical moves, not just stab moves, base form Starmie is a special attacker, so it doesn't get Swords Dance and doesn't get a lot of great physical attacking options, with none of them being spread. There also just aren't very many good physical psychic moves anyway, so it mostly just spams water moves, making it easier to wall. What's really holding it back in the current reg is the existence of that funny dark steel type with Sucker Punch, which deals nearly the exact amount as it does to Beedrill. It's definitely not a bad Mega, but for something with 100 attack, 120 speed, and huge power, it's really underwhelming. Next up is Mega Medicham. We have another Pokemon with 100 attack and an attack doubling ability with pure power, And something that Mega Medicham has in its favor over Starmie is that it learns better physical moves, with it getting Close Combat, Drain Punch, High Jump Kick, the Elemental Punches, Fake Out, Bullet Punch, and Trailblaze. It's still part Psychic type though, and it doesn't get Psychic Fangs, so it usually passes on the inconsistent Zen Headbutt and weak Psycho Cut. So while it does have some better physical options compared to Starmie, it has the same HP and attack with lower defense, special attack, special defense, and speed, so it's a less consistent sweeper, less consistent bulky attacker, and can't even really be used as a mixed attacker like Starmie. You should be seeing a pattern here, which is that physical attacking Mega Evolutions are generally at a disadvantage, especially in the current reg since the Assault Vest isn't in the game. You want at least one of two things to be successful as a physical attacking Mega: consistent spread damage and a way to deal with Intimidate. Special attackers just don't even have to worry about Intimidate, and nearly all of the top special attacking Megas also have spread damage, like Mega Floette and Meganium with Dazzling Gleam, Gardevoir with Hyper Voice, Zard Y and Delphox with Heat Wave, Frostlass with Blizzard, and Blastoise with Water Spout, as good spread moves are generally more widely distributed to special attackers. For the physical Megas, Aerodactyl and Tyranitar have spread damage with Rock Slide, with Kangaskhan being immune to Intimidate in its base form, and Lopunny being immune in its Mega form. So Medicham without either of those attributes really holds it back. Next up is Mega Chesnaught. The Kalos starter Megas are interesting. Mega Greninja just feels like an attempt to completely erase Ash Greninja from history, and Mega Delphox feels like they just gave it enough drawbacks to not be broken, with it having one less speed than the Fluttermane Club, and Levitate preventing it from being a Psy Spammer. Mega Chesnaught was given a great base stat bump, with it getting plus 30 attack, plus 50 defense, plus 40 special defense, and minus 20 speed. If you have a starting speed less than 70, you don't really mind losing speed in your Mega, since that typically means you get bonus attack or defenses, and it's not like 64 speed is good anyway, with 44 speed being great for Trick Room, since it's less than the 50 benchmark of King Gambit and some others. At 172 defense with the fighting typing, it has the strongest body press in the entire game, meaning that it can go on the offense and the defense, with 88 HP and 115 special defense being solid. For its ability, it keeps Bulletproof, which is kind of where the disappointment began. Bulletproof is a niche ability. It doesn't put you in the driver's seat in terms of how it will activate and how it will benefit you, and sure, you wall both of Mega Gengar's main stab moves, but name one other Pokemon that Bulletproof allows you to hard wall. Not only that, but Grass Fighting is not the best defensive typing, with 6 weaknesses including a 4x flying weakness. While this gives it some good matchups, like resisting Garchomp's Earthquake and Basculegion's Wave Crash, you take super effective damage from Sneasler's Dire Claw, Pelipper's Hurricane, Mega Frostlass's Blizzard, Mega Charizard Y's Heat Wave, and any of Mega Floette's Fairy moves. Sure, it gets Wide Guard, but do you really want to use your Mega slot just to use Wide Guard? Next up is Mega Golurk. Base Golurk has been very underwhelming in pretty much every generation and every format that it's been legal. In Scarlet and Violet, it's pretty much just worse Ursaluna in every way. Lower HP, lower attack, lower defense, same special defense, and higher speed, which makes it worse for Trick Room. Its ability options are okay, with Iron Fist and No Guard being solid on the right Pokemon, but Golurk isn't really the right Pokemon. What changes in its Mega is that it gets the ability Unseen Fist, the former signature ability of Urshifu, one of the strongest competitive Pokemon ever. Golurk was also given the powerful stab contact move Headlong Rush to take advantage of it. However, Golurk has Urshifu to thank for this ability getting nerfed into the ground, with it no longer dealing full damage through Protect, but rather 25% damage. While this is a great nerf to the incredibly broken Urshifu, it's a niche ability at best for the already niche Pokemon Mega Golurk. This is my second video I've made about potential mons, and in the first video, I talked about how Iron Boulder sounded really good since its signature move hits through Protect, and for some of the same reasons that Iron Boulder was bad, Mega Golurk is bad. Hitting through Protect alone is not what made Urshifu so broken, it's the fact that it did that and always crits. Mega Golurk also only really has Headlong Rush as its most reliable stab contact move, since Earthquake is non-contact, Poltergeist is non-contact, Shadow Punch is only 60 power, and Phantom Force already hits through Protect for full damage, so it's not really taking advantage of Unseen Fist, which is now more like Seen Fist. Last up is Mega Chandelure. With an already high 145 special attack in its base form, getting plus 100 stats on top of that seems pretty promising, especially since 80 as a starting speed is quite awkward. Raising it to be high enough to run a fast set, or lowering it to be low enough to run a Trick Room set would be appreciated. As a fire type, it gets Stab Heat Wave, and as a ghost type, it gets Shadow Ball and a Fake Out immunity. Its mega base stat bump is interesting. While it gets plus 20 defense and special defense and plus 30 special attack, it gets a wasted plus 20 attack and a borderline wasted plus 10 speed, since it's not enough to make it fast and just makes it worse for Trick Room. 60 HP is also not great to start with, so those boosted defenses are a little limited. Like Mega Chesnaught, the main thing that killed its hype was its ability being revealed to just be Infiltrator, its hidden ability in its base form. I feel like one of the main reasons that a lot of the new Mega's abilities felt disappointing, by the way, was because of how people got used to using obviously broken ones in the fan format of ZA-OU. Like, sorry, they're not gonna give everything Shadow Tag, Good as Gold, Soul Heart, and Hadron Engine. It was a surprise to see Fairy Aura get redistributed to Mega Floette, and it also took 6 months for us to get any update on some, not even all of their abilities, so we had high expectations. Some criticisms are definitely justified though, like Stalwart on Mega Skarmory. Anyway, Infiltrator's not terrible, since I guess it lets you bypass the somewhat common Aurora Veil in Reg MA, but being forced into that as your only option on a Mega is quite underwhelming, especially when Mega Charizard Y exists, which gets Drought and has slightly higher speed to be used more consistently with Tailwind. And those are some of the best Mega evolutions in theory that ended up being pretty disappointing in reality. Let me know if you disagree with any of my picks and what other Megas you feel were disappointing. Anyway, if you want to support me and my channel, just leave a nice comment. If you want to take it a step further, you can become a member for as low as 99 US cents a month to get a badge next to your name and early video access like all of these lovely people. Shout out to my level 2 members, Lukey Skywalker, Zephyro, Luke Mileto, Silksong, Codename Unknown, Jaden, John, and Luis Digitangel for your extra support. I have a second channel, Extra Bell, where I post unscripted videos and videos I've scrapped from the main channel, and a Twitch channel where I occasionally stream champions. Likes are also one of the ways that YouTube determines if a video should be passed around to more people, so if you feel that this video deserves to be, I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching.